Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. We're here. I don't know, wait, why did I say that so weird? Sorry, I
I don't know. I
suddenly
thought you
plugged
were gonna
Theta.
double down and say we're watching Mobile Suit Gundam a second time. Like,
Yeah,
was it Tommy two times?
yeah.
Goodfellas. Gonna have to get the papers. Get the papers.
There you go. So before I make any more mistakes, I'll go ahead and damn it, I'm doing it again. I'm now double talking 2 times.
To be fair, I used to do that all the time when we were playing role-playing games. But the thing is, I would just disconnect the push-to-talk button and say it again when nobody could hear me.
Let's go ahead and check out our comments for today. We got Joseph Stephen from Vote to Attack, who says, Mirai is such a badass. Redacted spoiler. It is nice to see you two having fun. I look forward to when you get to the War in the Pocket, my favorite OVA that happens to be at the end of the 1 Year War, or Zeta. I've heard a little bit of War in the Pocket, mostly just how good it is. I don't know too many particulars, just that all the friends that I know who've seen Gundam and seen it say it's the best. So yeah, I'm down for it. I'm excited. I can't wait.
All my friends that have seen Gundam and seen it, you're doing it. You don't even recognize that you're doing it still.
Look, I changed it up, all right. I'm not just repeating myself.
Yeah, if we keep on track to our current schedule, we should be hitting War in the Pocket sometime by the end of the year. Or not by the end of the year, close to the end of the year. Before the end of the year, I should say.
Yeah. All right, next comment is from Warlord BK from Vote to Attack, who says, in regards as to why they didn't detect Char's team during the infiltration of Side 7, it was because their mobile suits didn't raise the particle density above what was already background noise in the area. Everything in Operation V, including the White Base, runs on Minovsky reactors. It's the core technology behind their beam weaponry as well. All right, there we go. I think that's like a salient question that's been on my mind, which is beams of what? So now they're beams of Minovsky particles.
I mean,
I now have no expectation for what that can do.
does it matter what the beams are made of?
It does, because if you say like it's a beam of electrons, it's a beam of protons, it's a
You're
beam
not
of
going to.
photons, then I expect them to do different
You're not
things.
going to say that though. Well, I mean, you might based on the examples you gave. I mean, it's not going to be a beam of just anything. Like, oh no, he shot me with a beam of neutrons. It's like, well, cool. Then I can steal your mobile suit because you're dead.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know now that I know this. Why aren't we all just using neutron beams? Just be
Why aren't we all just
space.
gamma irradiating everybody, you know?
Yeah, just imagine that space battle, right? Where just ships are just floating dead. Just a bunch of mobile suits just flying around dead.
Hey,
Dead
you know,
graveyard.
you're in space. Why didn't you have lead lining inside your mobile suit?
Oh man, I
But
really want that. I want that series. Not the lead line mobiles, just the series where we all have neutron beam weaponry, and all we do is we just keep using the same ships. Alright, get the dead bodies out of that one.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
It's a
But like that's
resource
one of my
management.
sci-fi bugbears, where someone just says, I shot a beam of energy at them. And I'm just like, what type of thing are you shooting exactly? There's no like just blanket energy, you know?
I mean, to
Is
be
it
fair,
heat? Is
just
it
about,
electricity, which is electrons, you know?
I mean, to be fair, just about any type of energy will hurt you. It's just, I guess,
That is true, but they will do different things to you.
most of them will in fact just pass through matter, so.
Hmm. All right then. But so what do you think about the infiltration, just to cover the first part of that real quick? He,
The
they
thing
technically
there
did
is that
twice.
nothing at Site 7. I guess the difficulty here is not knowing where they infiltrated,
Yeah,
because only the back half of Site 7 would have Minovsky particles in it, right? Because the back
right.
half is where all of Operation V was taking place.
Yeah.
So you'd still have this high concentration here, and then this moving concentration coming in, right? It's like having a radon detector in your house, right?
Yeah.
It should detect. Well, I don't know. That's a bad example now that I think about it, because it's just a radon detector is either on or off. It's not.
Yeah. I guess here's like my side opinion of they are in space. Nothing stops them from giving themselves momentum, turning off their engines, and just gliding to the target. Space stealth is actually pretty easy.
Oh no, because the Monopsia reactor is required to do just about anything.
Right, so you turn them off after you give yourself the momentum you need to get to your target.
We have no idea if they're like on-off things, right? They could be like eternally
Yeah.
on. You know, we have no idea how the Minovsky particle itself works. Also, now that I'm
Can I
thinking
get a
about it,
reactor diagram
now
on
that I'm
screen
thinking
here?
about it, we've also done numerous things where they've discussed the density of particles in an area,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
should then be a readable thing. So, oh, that's weird. There's a high density of particles moving from one end of the side to the other end of the side. It just
Yeah,
seems
it's
like we go from not having any sensors for this shit to
mhm.
suddenly everybody has sensors to this shit and just stop paying attention.
We got a lot of like weird little unknowns that require us to get into like the nitty-gritty of like how exactly everything works, and at the end of the day, doesn't really matter, does it? They snuck in, and that's a war story. That's all we need, right? But let's go ahead and go on over to the recap today, which last time was the threat of Zeon, where Giran Zabi uses his brother Garma's death as a rallying point for the Zeon cause, while a new task force led by Ramba Rawl and the Goth mobile suits
Goof.
pursue Whitebase.
It's
Say again?
pronounced goof.
Goof.
If
All right, the
if you
silliest
ever,
option.
yeah, well, if you ever have any confusion or doubts, just remember the goof troop. Doop doo
Ramble
doo
Rawl
ba
and
ba
the
doo
Goof.
ba pow.
Ramble Rawl and the Goose pursue Whitebase. Meanwhile, Arboro struggles to overcome shell shock. Yeah, he is. Arboro is still not having a great time, and I don't foresee it getting much better. But the Theta, I think this is actually the episode where he gets to see his mom, and maybe he does overcome it.
I think it was hinted at in the next time on. It certainly this is the
Mhm.
episode everyone says is their favorite.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if everyone's talking highly of this one, I'm ready. It looks like just a heavy drama episode. Like it's gonna bring everything together. Let's go. Let's do it. But I guess first let's go ahead and peek over the concept board too. Theta, what have we got here today?
Some reorganization, some additions.
Yeah, what did we get last time? We definitely had Ramble Roll show up, so let's go ahead and start over at him. Yeah, he's been shoved down. He's connected over to, I assume, his squad somewhere around here. Clamp's not in the squad, right?
Yeah, he is. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, he is. The bartender's in the squad. I didn't realize.
You mean I was thrown for a second by his squad's around here somewhere. You mean the obvious people that he's attached to?
I wasn't thinking about. I'm just like, okay, here are all of his friends. I wonder where the squad is. It could be anywhere else on this chart.
No, Clamp's in the squad. He's always been part of the squad.
Yeah. But none of Ramble's squad died, and none of the white base squad died. So at least those are pretty static at the moment. Uh Job John. Oh gosh. The blondie, he's there. He's real.
This is actually me making a guess. We've seen him in the, okay, there's a blonde guy who shows up in engineering, right?
Yeah, he gets
You
5 frames.
you even pointed out. Well, Job John is a character that's on the list of people who appear in the show. And
Uh-huh.
apparently he's shown up previous to this too. And I just do not see him anywhere. Like sometimes there'll be a thing where I'm like, okay, who was in this episode that I might have missed? And they're like, oh, this guy appears here or there. Or they won't list
Mhm.
anything like on Wikipedia's or the voice actor credits or anything like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, and I look it up. I do some extensive research. Who's the blonde guy in this episode? Does he have a name? No, nobody references him here. But apparently around Luna 2, this guy showed up. And,
Huh.
yeah, no idea. I'm going to
I
say
feel
that was
like
probably him. The hairstyles, the eye colors, and the hair color. It's
yeah.
all as approximate as I could get.
I feel like he's so excitingly blonde that like I would have noticed him in the background too, but like if he just was a background character before, yeah, I could have just missed him.
Well, it happens with like a lot of Garma's men, right? Like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of them don't get mentioned in like recaps or even Wikipedia articles about specific episodes. But you watch the episode, like this dude, who apparently is going to show up later at some point, Gyal, during a fight, they actually say, Gyal, pull back. So Gyal was fucking there.
Mhm.
So but he never shows up on screen.
Right, he just doesn't have like any attention on him yet. Meanwhile, every other like character that goes out with Char gets named, gets a screenshot, is in the mobile shoot, and then they explode, right?
Well, like the guy directly under Char was Bobson, not Char. I mean,
Oh
Garma
gosh.
was Bobson, right? He gets named in once. I don't know if he survived. He might have been on one of those gauze. But for
He
all
could
I
be
know,
anywhere.
he's still back at base alive. So that's why I haven't put him anywhere
All
yet.
right. Theta, Griffin's thoughts. Char has like 100% casualty rate right now on this set of missions, right?
No. Incorrect.
Well, okay, he has a 75% because we can count himself on every mission.
Also, still incorrect.
What would you say is the correct number?
Well, I got pointed out to you 100 times now. Maybe, what episode we on? 13 times? Maybe 13 times now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, since Origin. So maybe 15 times now. Dren is still alive.
Okay, but he's not necessarily on the mobile suit missions, is he? Every time he goes out in the mobile suits, everyone else he's with dies.
When Char goes out on the mobile suit missions, Dren has been present for 3 to 4 of them. He's the one who picks Char up. You know, Char's flying through the air, and Dren is just right there with his little capsule thing, and then he picks Char up at the end of the fight. Or Dren, Dren was in the ship. Dren was in the ship that Isolina. Remember Isolina comes in with all the gauze, and then Char comes flying in? Dren is sitting side seat to him.
Yeah.
And then Char goes out, runs off, shoots a bunch of people, comes back in, flies off with Dren. Dren's been present all of these fights. Well, most of these fights.
Let's go overall to all the people associated with him. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 confirmed out of
No,
like 12?
you've jumped over. These are Garma's men over here.
Oh, okay. So in that case, we have 6, 7 out of 8. And then 9 would be himself. So 7 nines.
Keep that in mind. Garma's men over here. Garma's dead. Most of his men alive.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of funny. Most of the people will remember him, but he's gone.
I think it's more of a case of most of Garma's men didn't get named. I got names from all of Char's guys. Garma's guys were like literally the entire Air Force, the entire Ground Force, all the gauze. Yeah, I think.
Can you imagine just like 2 episodes in a row dedicated to just naming every single soldier under Garma's command? It'd be like watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Hey, reference.
I don't know. We got more people on this board than we do Legend of the Galactic Heroes board.
Funnily enough, yeah, actually, you're correct. All right, so Theta, I think that's all the changes there on the board. How about we go into Theta's thoughts? What's on your mind?
I think one of the saddest forms of media is the unknown epic. My best example of this is the Star Trek Voyager episode Chorus Oblivion, which follows a copy of the crew of Voyager, where good things have happened to them, and they're celebrating, and suddenly deaths start happening for unknown reasons. These people forgot they were clones, and needed a certain environment to survive in the long term, and are dying without it. Everyone dies. The ship itself was a clone, and itself falls apart. The last thing they do is launch a beacon with the recordings of all of their lives from after the moment they were cloned, and it falls apart, just as the real Voyager stumbles across its location. Never knowing the other crew even existed, let alone the stories of their lives. That is what I feel when Amuro wonders who Isolina was. Her entire story, its peaks and valleys, her love and sadness, all ending with her single act of revenge on someone that would never know her story or understand it.
Yeah, so like one of the things that comes to mind, at least like when it comes to revenge, is people really put a lot of their own imagining into it. They're like, oh yeah, they're gonna know that they did X and Y to me, and the answer is like, no, they're not. You're not gonna take like an hour to explain them. You're not in a movie.
It's not, well, I mean,
You
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 could.
you get something more like Icelina here,
I mean,
right?
well, you fall over and die.
Yeah, you just fall over and die. That's actually more likely,
I
right?
mean, to be fair, at gunpoint in an isolated location, you've got plenty of time to let them know what this is about.
Right, sure. But I mean, the thing is, just shouting it to someone for an hour still doesn't mean that they're going to get it or that they're even going to care. So
Well, no,
the
you don't.
person getting revenge often has their own emotional expectation for how it's going to turn out, and they still don't have any control over
I mean, you
that.
don't need them to understand. That's why you've got the gun. You know, it's
Well,
about
that's the whole
this is
point of
about.
getting revenge in the first place. You want them to know and care about it, and if they just kind of end up blasé about it anyway, you
Well,
didn't get what you
what's
wanted,
their
right?
incentive to care? You're going to kill them, right? So, I mean, you gotta. This is for
Well, because
you.
part of it is
You
having another human recognize your pain, particularly, right? In
no,
this case, the person
no,
who you think inflicted it.
no. You kill them, then go to a therapist afterwards. You want someone to
People aren't
recognize your
that
pain.
rational or have enough money for a therapist and a gun.
I think there's more psychopaths in the world than you think. Anyway,
At least most of them are pretty well adjusted.
I think
But no,
Garma's
like,
death has just reinforced the concept board's present connections of the Zabi
mhm.
family. Kycelia and Dozel are out there in the midst of things, while Degwin and Giran are back in the capital running things. We know Kycelia and Giran are making plans behind everyone's backs, even each other's, but Dozel and Degwin are very honest with themselves. Dozel saying that he wanted Garma to become a general that would command him someday mirrors his response to Garma surviving the Dawn Rebellion, and they talk later. Oh, sorry, in the talk later that they had about Garma wanting to earn his position outside of nepotism.
Mhm.
I'm not going to go into my darker theories about Degwin, but he clearly is the most hurt by Garma's death and is the mirror to Giran. Even back at the war's start, Degwin wanted peace and an end to the bloodshed, and so too here he just wants a moment's peace to mourn the loss of his son, whereas Giran, who pushed for a war that wouldn't end until they were ready for it to be, is using the death as a way to rally the masses into a frenzy.
Yeah, no, I think that's like a great little comparison there. The different ways that they're dealing with it. We have the background crowd like deciding like the different ways that they're going to deal with it. I guess then does that mean we have a mirror between Dozel and Kycelia somewhere since they're like the forward action crew of like the family? I don't think that one checks
Well,
out.
they're just on the front lines. Well, I no,
Yeah, they're
I said Giran and well, what did I say? I don't remember.
right.
my
You're
my point was that Dozel and Cassilia are on the front lines, but Giran and Cassilia are more aligned as a mirror in that respect.
yeah. The family is falling apart here.
Giran is the Cassilia we have at home. And
Oh, there's an image.
I mean, it's the
All
same
right.
thing for Degwin and Dozel.
Mhm.
When Icelina says the least we can do is exact revenge, least she can do is exact revenge for Garma's death, she's essentially mirroring the sentiment of Giran's speech in episode before it arrives. She's taking her sorrow from that episode's start and turning it into anger. You don't, might not remember this Giran's speech. Giran's speech is all about turning your sorrow into anger, and her thing is like a physical embodiment. I guess it is worth noting that, according to the communication they got, there is a liaison conference happening at the Federation General HQ, and it is in a deadlock, which is why White Base hasn't been getting any reinforcements. Just something for us to put a pin in to see if we hear anything about that later, to know what is about or concerning.
Oh my gosh, they're like arrived for a meeting and they're just getting told it's like, no, sorry, you're gonna have to wait on the boss. He's a little busy right now. You know, whenever he's done, they're just sitting in the lobby for like 2 hours.
Well, I mean, this is the one of those many scenes where I indicate that Sayla is not happy with Bright, where they get a
Oh yeah,
communication and
yeah,
he snatches it from her.
yeah.
So the refugee situation on White Base. First, we take in all the civilians we can before leaving Side 7, Noah. Then
Mhm.
Luna 2 won't take them in and redirects everyone to Earth. A bunch of them get out at the first chance around Lake Mead. A Federation ship then comes and picks up the injured, but leaves the rest on White Base. Now, despite not getting reinforced or supplied, White Base is getting orders to pick up more refugees at coordinate locations. All the all the while the refugees they are already carrying are conspiring to make a break for it, or rush the next Federation transport that comes in order to get away from the White Base. And
Yeah.
then they just they let everyone they have on board after a battle is done.
Mhm.
Ironically, with our bunch of kids standing on the bridge watching all the other civilians leave. So, for some reason they let all the old people go and the kids are on the bridge. I
I
guess,
guess all the old people want to go. They were all scrambling to run into the desert, right?
well, they scramble to run into the desert, get shot at, run back to the ship. Then the fight's over, and then they scramble to get back out into the desert. All the while, they still have this communication of coordinates to go pick up more people. I guess it
Some
also
people really
explains
just want
why
to
we
die in
are
the desert.
crossing the Pacific Ocean when we should be heading a straight line our way from California to Venezuela. HQ isn't ready for them yet, and now we're going to other refugee locations.
Right, we're on a very big detour then, is the real thing. Um so kind of brain thought in the back of my head, the kids, the three little kids that we see pop up all the time trying to be helpful. Are they actually do they actually have parents on board or are they just like orphans now?
We've never seen
I'm
their
not sure we got
parents.
that context. Say again?
I said we've never seen their parents. They were in
Okay,
Origin too, and we never saw their parents. Fraw was taking care of them.
they are probably orphans now then. Yeah, okay. They're handling that pretty well.
I mean, it's an unknown.
They they seem really happy and interested in doing literally anything else, so I have to go like they must be in pretty good moods. So I guess their parents must be alive, or they haven't like internalized it, or no one sat down and went like, "Sorry, what's your name? Sorry, Kika, but mom's never coming back again." No one's had that thought, that conversation with them, right?
I mean, we
they
don't
they
know
have
that
not
either.
conceptualized this.
We don't know that either. They spent a lot of time with Fraw. We have no idea what
Mhm.
Fraw has said.
Yeah, there's just we don't know. They're just there.
I appreciate in episode 11 we see a Ga go down below the clouds and then bright explosion to let us know it hits the ground. Then White Base gets hit, starts going below the clouds as Amuro watches on, and cut to mid-episode roll for commercials. Perfect dramatic timing.
Yeah, we have the setup, the payoff. We know what's gonna happen, and cliffhanger you, and then White Base just like hits the ground perfectly fine. It
Right,
didn't explode, right?
right. Now just trying to remember the sequence of events. Sorry, I've been thrown off so hard today. Char seems to think that taking the blame for Garma's death and attacking White Base is some sort of win-win no matter what happens, which I don't follow at all. Either way, Degwin being the more level-headed Zabi only says for him to be demoted, so I imagine it could have ended up worse. I guess, if anything, he's always hanging around with Dren, who he promoted when he got command of the ship, and has basically been the person he's entrusted the most loyalty to this entire time. When Char says to do something, Dren does it, and happily. I can only imagine there's a partnership that will only end when Dren dies someday.
Oh, you found the scam. You found the Char scam. It's perfect. Char can get demoted as much as he wants. He can do whatever he wants now. He has someone who owes him one, is like his best, most loyal person right now. And he can just tell him, like, hey, why don't we go over here and do this? He keeps the same authority. Dren will never get touched. He's never going to do anything wrong. Well, no, there's still the possibility they can totally blame him for things Char keeps telling him to do, but, well, they'd have to catch him first.
I'm glad we also got to see Bright not just recognizing that he's snapping at people, but also realizing that he needs a moment just like everyone else does. Unlike Amuro, who fills his moments between fighting with busy work to occupy his mind and body, or just sulking, Bright tries to close his eyes and relax. Also nice to see that Mirai is there to comfort him, not quite in the same way that Fra does for Amuro, but that she's there and recognizes the burden he has being in command.
Yeah, something does strike me that we don't get a whole lot of Mirai. But I guess that's like a good moment to like actually reintroduce her into like action, I think.
Well, she's always there.
Or dramatic action, yeah. Always there, but not like participating as heavily or having as many lines is what I mean.
Participating, she's always there. Not as many lines, sure. She doesn't have any lines as far as I know, except for
yeah, exactly
2 episodes worth.
Like if this were a more modern series, I would expect like an entire episode just focused around her or something.
So, Kycelia asks what happened with Char, and when they tell her that he's probably gone home, which I can only guess means Texas, and cool, since everyone we know is from there is dead, she calls over a subordinate and whispers to him. Then some guy shows up to whisper to Char at the end of the episode as well. Probably not unconnected. But also makes me wonder if she knows his real identity. Tachi works for her, kinda, after all, and he knows, or at least highly suspects. So I have to wonder what her plan is here.
I really have to say, I genuinely think it would be really hard to imagine a story where Kycelia doesn't know, given how much Kycelia has literally interacted with Char this entire time. She was there at the beginning. She was there when he escaped. She's been here this entire time. She's part of the whole spy network. She's gotta know. Like, it seems like the thing that she would end up knowing eventually, right? And she's got motive to not tell everyone else, too. If she realizes, like, Char must be after killing the rest of the zombie family, and she wants to be in charge of it, she could just say, you know what, that's fine. Let Char kill everyone else, and then I'll take charge, and then I'll kill him. That sounds like a Kycelia plan to me, from the impression we got of her.
Well, I mean, really, when you think about it, the only people I know that Char doesn't want to kill is a very small list.
Right. Char probably doesn't want to kill his sister. Char doesn't want to kill Lala, who has not actually appeared in the anime yet, in the original anime here. Is there anyone else he doesn't want to kill? Probably not Dren at this point, I think. Not intentionally.
Who knows? Right?
Who does he blame, really? That's the question.
Everyone,
now.
as far as I understand it. Dren could just be a happy you're last, you know? Hey, Sully, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied.
Is this why we get like more genocidal Gundam characters in the future, just because of how aggressive Char is now?
I mean, he was shooting at civilians last episode, so I mean, clearly, I don't know who he's not willing to kill. I know he blames everybody. We covered that in Origin. He blames the Federation, and he blames, the zombies. So, who's left other than his own family that he's not going to kill?
Right.
Also kind of funny that Fra thinks the lightning is a new Zeon weapon, and then a bunch of Zeon soldiers think the lightning is a new Federation weapon. Despite being the future, I guess space kids don't get educated about weather.
Yeah, no, like that line struck me as as old ass writing, right? Where you have a character who's not supposed to be used to environment and you just pretend they have never heard of these concepts before. Like, I've never like what's something I haven't seen before? I was
Never
about to say
have I
waterfall,
ever.
but like I went and visited like Vermont like last year. Got plenty of waterfalls. I was like, no, I've heard of them. Like I wouldn't be confused if I saw one, right?
You never participated in a mudslide?
Oh yeah, like mudslides,
Oh, what's it
avalanches. Like
called?
no, I can imagine a bunch of rocks falling down,
What's it
right?
called when you have sand, but there's a giant pocket of air underneath it?
Quicksand.
No, air. Quicksand's water.
Uh,
So that you can be walking along the beach and then just fall through the ground.
I don't remember what the name of that is, though. I remember there's supposed to be like a beach in Alaska where that happens just like a whole lot.
It just happens here. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
normal beach thing. If you've got like rocks and sand, like I mean, not small rocks, just like boulder-sized rocks or whatever they use to keep parts of the beach
boulder,
separated.
large boulder the size of a small boulder.
Yeah. Then you can accumulate pockets of air around it, which can lead to having like almost a stable-looking surface level of sand and just a hole underneath that you can fall through.
Yeah, an absolute natural trapdoor, essentially, right?
Yeah, like that exists around here. I've never seen it, but I mean, you understand what's happening though.
Yeah.
It's a more difficult transition to make from lightning. Lightning isn't that far away from your beam weaponry. You know, a lot less targeted.
And that's why it's a new Xeon weapon. There you go.
Clearly, Ramba and Hamon have had some development in the last 8 months, not only bringing them physically closer as a couple, but to where they seemed almost against the fighting before. Now they talk about Ramba's place being on the battlefield. The war has clearly affected some of our characters towards the nationalistic tint.
I guess maybe you could always take that banter as just like Rumble is a soldier ultimately at the end of the day. Like he's not comfortable anywhere else. Maybe they could still be anti-war, anti the fighting, but it's just like that's all he's really good for or knows, because otherwise at the end of the origin, he's just drunk at the bar all the time otherwise.
That's where he always was. Well, I mean, like the last 4
Or
episodes.
he was out fighting or like testing the mobile suits or something. That's the only time where he's like alive, right? That's sort of the impression I got there.
I don't know. Doesn't stand. The two different versions of Ramba don't stand together.
That is true. Perhaps these are internal contradictions that he battles with all the time, or maybe the writer didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Or
how
maybe
could
he's
that
just written
writer
differently now?
How could that writer have anticipated that thing that they would do 30 years later?
Yeah, how dare they? What else you got, Theta?
That's the last one.
All right, then. So we've been through all the thoughts, we've been through the board, we've been through all the comments, and here we are. So I say let's go ahead and give a watch to today's episode. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over at the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord. You let us know why this was your favorite episode. Well, you let us know that it was your favorite episode. Now let us know why it was your favorite episode.
So,
Got
Theta,
little
I
pixels
gotta
not
ask,
painted in there.
what are the odds that Amuro's hometown, like his mother's house or whatever, is just gonna get completely squashed by a Gundam foot or something?
Why would you think his hometown even exists?
I mean, he's going to a town and his mother is there. My immediate assumption is hometown.
I don't think he's going to a town. He's there to pick up refugees. It's going to be like the lake place again.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But what are the odds that they blow it up while they're there? or that he causes the damages and like goes, no, I become a monster, a soldier, or something.
Well, I mean, given the fact that this is a anime designed to sell toys, and that the best way to sell toys is to put them into action scenes, and then just about every episode we've had so far has had action in it. I don't know, pretty good, fairly good.
But
I
this is
guess.
the context of that action.
I mean, I don't know what the question is anymore. I've gone too far into the sarcastic side of things that I've lost track of the question.
So I'll put you down for Amuro crushes his house then. Oh, new intro.
No.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Literally it's the same one as last time. Or do you have something weird to say about Kycelia? I wish they made a pill just to erase 5 minutes of memory.
Nah, your best bet is the blinding stew. At least then you won't see my comments.
No, I think I would be helped by it. Literally every problem I have ever had. If I could have the forethought within 5 minutes just erase it, I'd be great. I'd probably be a much better person. See, it's a goof.
An endless series of terrifying encounters sounds basically like what Amuro's going through for sure.
That's my fanfic of Lemony Snicket events. Hey, it's a beach episode.
Every anime needs a beach episode, and that kid is the strongest kid on Earth.
No, it's judo. That's the one thing we know about him, Griff. He does judo. By the way, I like that he literally walked into their sun, but you can literally tell from where he is now, his shadow doesn't fall anywhere over them.
Yeah, he just doesn't have one. Real dangerous to have the beach episode with that context now, but...
I don't know, I have a hard time imagining gorilla fighting around places with white picket fences.
Oh, got some jazzy music going on inside.
You're wearing a Federation uniform.
You're about to start a fight.
All these Zeon off... I know they're all drunk, right? I understand that, but not one of them cares he's wearing a Federation outfit.
I think they might be Federation, actually.
I'm pretty sure the helmet on the floor was a Zeon.
Maybe they killed a Zeon person and they kept the helmet.
I mean, it's possible.
Otherwise, I don't think Armor would have rushed into the herm like that.
Makes sense. I don't know. It was thrown by the helmet with the Zeon logo on it.
Totally fair. One day, Amuro will be a real boy.
God, I'm glad I didn't use that image for the board. I mean, to be fair, all the fucking old people that only want to get off the ship kind of had that same sentiment.
Everyone in this show has a lot of like nostalgia and hope for like going to Earth.
Alright, to be fair, I'm looking down at the uniform you're wearing in the overlay, and it's the same as theirs. And we know that you're Earthside when it comes to this, so...
What an asshole.
やめろおばさん。拾っちゃダメだ。兵隊に拾ってもらうんだ。なんだこいつ。
It's the Dawn Rebellion shit again.
Yeah.
You remember
Federation
the...
has not changed.
Well, you remember the pick it up chant, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's just going for it. Alright, that's fairly realistic as an outcome.
そうだよ。あの子、娘の友達だったアムロだよ。おやめなさい。
Wait, that's his grandma?
No. What? I would say grandma.
Said friend of my daughter.
Yeah. Being a friend of
Oh, wait,
somebody
no,
doesn't
sorry,
make you
friend,
related
you're
at
right.
all.
生き残った兵隊さんは本部から見捨てられちゃってね。仲間が助けに来ないもんだからあんな風になっちまって。やだね。
The slow pack just shows how angry he is right now.
Yeah. Amuro is nothing if not pouty, right?
お母さんにはあったんだろ？いえ、おや、手紙もらってないのか？お母さんなら避難民キャンプでボランティアやってるよ。生きてるんですね。ほら、教会があるの覚えてるかい？
Let me guess. She is not going to be enthusiastic that you're wearing a Federation outfit.
Oh boy. Oh. That's the drama I'm waiting for.
敵さん完全撤退したな。戦闘機1機も出迎えなしじゃ機銃が錆びつくぜ。これも任務さ。こちらルッグン3、304地区異常なし。了解。各員艦内に戻れ。艦内に戻れ。敵機発見。対空戦闘急げ。
Our camouflage was for nothing.
I know, seemed to work out pretty nicely for him.
ホワイトベースを発信させます。
いや、帰って発見させやすくするだけだ。
そうね。
敵の本体に連絡されては面倒。
Conceivably, they should be able to find you immediately. What else in this area would be putting out Minovsky particles, right?
Right.
The presence of your power source is giving you away.
何か来るぞ。敵か。いや、戦闘機のようだ。いかん、後ろに回られた。何？遅いわ。降下しろ。
Hey, isn't it weird that the 2 scouts we sent out in that direction didn't come back?
Not even looking in their direction. You're in fact looking away from where the bullets are coming from.
He's literally doing WASD level strafing around their bullets.
That'd be like
fine.
me reacting to the show that's right here, doing this. People would be pissed.
Oh, I don't think we've seen them do VTOL yet, have we?
I don't know, the thing connects to the Gundam, remember? So we've seen it go
yeah.
lock in like that.
Hmm. I guess that means the core fighter's VTOL is the jet booster, the jetpack for it. That voice does not match that face and body type.
いやいや、あの山の向こうには敵の前線基地があってな。一日一回見回りに来るんじゃよ。
それでなくてももう敵にキャッチされたかもしれんのじゃ。用事ならその後でもよろしかろうが。
わかりまし
What
た。
are you talking about? It's just an old man.
アムロなのね。アムロ。母さん。
There we go. Happy moments. And this is all the positive emotion will get the entire series.
いいな
すまんが、あの戦闘機を。
そうでした。アムロ、早く隠してきなさい。話はそれからにしましょう。
あんたの息子さんかい？
I saw you picking up your dog, and I was like, oh shit, he's looking away right here at the moment where his mom comes. Like,
I know.
Thank God it was a 70s to 80s drama that lasted 5 minutes.
ジオンの空襲があったの。じゃあ、父さんわからないわね。
Alright, good. Confirming they have no idea.
動くんじゃないの？
Why are you taking up a bed anyway?
Isn't the craft like just out in the open?
They asked him to move it. Oh, is that Clamp?
Uh,
That looks like Clamp.
he's got like that narrow face. I know what you
Imagine the
mean.
bartender and then like deanimate him by 30 years.
Yeah.
見とれ。なんて戦闘機だ。さあ、こちらパトロールホットドッグ。
Hey, it's Hot Dog. He's back.
現在地 Y207。いかん、見ろ。何？お、もらった。うわ
Hot dog going down.
Named characters have a percentage chance to survive.
Ah, there it
ー。
is.
が漏れてるのか。ライト、燃料タンクをやられたらしい。敵にはダメージを与えたが、逃げられた。
何？確認できないのか？
ダメです。これ以上は。
オペレーター、敵の脱出方向は計算できるか？南西方面というくらいしかわかりません。
Oh wow, those guys can talk.
They talked before.
リュウ、帰還できるか？
そりゃ大丈夫だ。しかし、
あとはアムロにやらせる。
すまん。
セーラ、アムロに緊急サインを送るんだ。急げ。
Oh, his like pager's gonna beep the moment they walk in or something.
Well, one of those. Amuro! Amuro, can you hear me? Amuro, why aren't you responding?
Yeah.
戦闘機らしきものがこの辺に着陸したという報告も入ってるんだ。知っている者はいないか？
They're holding that gun in a weird way.
飛行機知らないかい？おじさんにだけ教えてくれないかな。
知るもんかい。
憎まれたもんだな。チョコレートやるよ。
いらないやい。
Works on aliens and movies, why not kids?
僕は
I mean, kid's making a good point. At least he's got priorities.
なんだこの音は。
こんな時に呼び出し信号が。
I love it.
なんだと言ってるんだ。言え。
私89歳になります。
おい女、そこに寝ているやつは何者だ。
いえね、ただの怪我人なんです
Is
よ。
Amuro about to kill people in front of everyone?
見せろ。
私の子供です。怪我をしているのです。
死のでなければ見せろ。
Yep.
Yeah. Wait,
By the
even
way-
he looks surprised.
Well, also, it's a blind shot, right? He didn't know exactly what that guy was. His head was under the blanket. He literally could have shot anybody in the room by accident.
アムロ、待ちなさい。アムロ。
Ah, damn. Oh, here's the drama. This is the central thesis here. Oh, he missed every shot.
命には別状ない。医者を呼んでくれ。
あの人たちだって子供もあるだろうに。 それを鉄砲を向けて撃つなんてすさんだね。
You don't want to know what I've been up to.
Oh, just stab at the heart.
戦争なんだよ。
そうだけど人様に鉄砲を向けるなんて。
母さんは僕を愛してないの。
That's a big old jump.
Oh, stabbing right back. Oh, this is the highest drama. I actually see why everyone loves this episode right now.
It doesn't make logical sense.
It's
Nothing
all
she said.
emotional, though.
No, it's not even that. They're literally just talking nonsense. Nothing she said means I don't love you. He's not even jumping to the logical, emotional thing.
私はお前をこんな風に育てた覚えはないよ。昔のお前に戻っておくれ。
今は戦争なんだ。
なんて情けない子だろう。
See, now you can say, wait, you don't love me? That sounds like a more rational jump.
Well, like, the argument from Amuro is like, they're going to kill me. If you love me, you would say it's perfectly fine for me to kill them.
No,
Which is also
no,
a bit of a
the
jump
rationalization of the situation was literally, they didn't even point their gun at you yet. I could have maybe done something.
Right.
Yeah. They don't even get to that point in talking. It's literally, you don't love me. You know, it's a weird jump.
It's highly emotional again. They're not thinking rationally. That's not what this
No,
is. at all.
Amuro isn't thinking rationally. She's saying shit clearly, like step to step. They could have kids. They are other people. Don't point guns at people. He's like, you want me to die. You don't love me. They didn't get to report. They went a really long way to crash.
He's just going in for blood.
Well, take out your anger on people that aren't your mom.
Amuro, after that first shot, you just haven't gotten it. Okay, never mind. He got at least one hit in.
To be fair, he shouldn't have made that first shot. He was head under a blanket, facing the other direction. He should have shot somebody else in the room by accident.
そうか、ガンダムを持ってきてくれたのか。よし。
よ、アムロ、空中乾燥ってやつをやってみるかい。
We know you've never done it before, so now it seems like the best time in the world of combat.
テストもいいだろうさ。
カイさん、ダメですよ。
You were being sarcastic. Amuro wasn't.
くれたドッキングパーツまだテストしてないんですから。アムロがやるってんだからいいじゃねえか。
Yeah, Kai, be a bad influence. Let's go. That's what I'm here for.
男手で育てたからかしら。
Oh.
あんな子じゃなかったのに。虫も殺せなかった子が。
That's why his room was filled with flies.
Damn it.
ドッキングサーチャー始動。
レーザーサーチャー同調。5、4、3、2、1。ガンダム B パーツ投下。コアチェンジ。ドッキングゴー。
Okay, those legs just came up.
ガンダム A パーツ投下。
Yeah. We're going full Voltron now.
カイネ、シンクロしてないのに。
Kai slacking on the job.
I would have preferred if the top half just hit the ground face down, and then he has to
crash
land.
into it.
He has to land face down and crawl the legs by themselves up into it.
That could have been it.
何をしているんだ。
敵の基地をやっつけているんでしょ。
あんな地方の前進基地を叩く必要がどこにあるか。カイもカイだ。テストもしていないのに敵前でガンダムをドッキングさせたりして。単なる消耗戦なぞ。今の我々には。
I feel like I'm just drawing the line in a weird place.
間違っているかな。
いいえ。
Damn those Xeon bastards for everything they've done. Why is he attacking a Xeon base? It's weird.
Well, they've already commented how they're low on fuel all the time, they're low on ammo all the time, that they need to keep their heads down, and that this base does not matter strategically.
You know what would be
at all to
great?
them.
You know what would be great? Attacking the base and taking all their ammunition, their fuel, all the shit that they need.
Nope, he blew it up.
アムロがお世話になっております。
我々こそ
It's a shame you're a man. Raised him to do this.
そんな。
いや事実です。今日の彼の活躍も目覚ましいものでした。
そうですか。
Ah, the only time Bright's gonna compliment you is gonna be in the way your mother hates.
はい。
Like that he's avoiding criticizing him in front of his mother.
これからも私は
Well, no.
お母さん
His mother hates that he's violent now and all that shit. So the only time Bright is complimenting him is literally going to be an insult to his mother. That's right. Draw her in a way that makes it so we won't remember her face. Or confusingly, have Fra wearing the same outfit as her. So I'll just now remember her as Fra. Look, all we need to do is take her from this show and put her in Full Metal Alchemist. She's clearly well suited to be Winry's new mom, that's all.
If only I can bring back my son Amuro with alchemy. Amuro's just like, I'm right here.
No, I mean, she has the ideals that Winry's parents have, it seems like. Like, she's even... Matilda's back.
武器弾薬が少ないのはホワイトベースだけではなかった。クアラン総長のガンダム強襲作戦はアムロたちを恐怖させるのに十分であった。彼らは勇敢にガンダムに迫る。
Well, they're just floating
これを
now.
突破できるのか。機動戦士ガンダム次回時間よ止まれ。君は生き延びることができるか。
No, they're not floating. The aircraft that they have those two little floating disc things on the bottom of them. They look so fucking weird. That they have to be some sort of anti-grav sort of thing. So the thing these guys are using, that's what I'm saying. That's how their planes work. So these guys are just seem to be sitting on top of them. So that's what those are like. No, what I was saying is that his mom has the same viewpoint that Winry's parents seem to have, down to the point where she's like volunteering at like a hospital sort of thing too. So they kind of fit.
I feel like she's not even going for like an anti-war, like a pacifist messaging either. She's just going, it's like, it is wrong for people to be fighting, which is just like an incredibly like simple, basic viewpoint to espouse. Feels bad, and then just feels bad that Arbor like can't work upon that in some way.
I mean, here's the thing. I never really appreciate that message in shows like this. Now, granted, that is the point of the show. So, I mean, not to not appreciate the message. The message is that war is horrible, and here's the first-hand experiences of the people that are literally not even on the front line, people left behind. I get all that. But the problem here, or the problem therein lies, is that we're being shown a situation where Amuro is in the right, I feel. Like, she's like, oh, clearly her point of view is I could have maybe negotiated with those soldiers or something. He didn't have to kill them. But all Amuro knows is that these two soldiers he can hear rustling around with his mother. Because once again, I know I've harped on it twice now. He's facing away from them. He's headed under a blanket. He has no way of knowing exactly where they are in the room. He just blind shoots. The room is filled with other civilians. And kids, by the way. He could have hit anybody. He could have hit his mom. He has no idea where the hell he's shooting.
So here's like a funny question. It's like, at what point could Amuro have like, or even like the rest of the crew, just abandon this, like abandoned White Base in the Gundam? And like, why do they keep going on after those points? Like, they could just land it somewhere and walk away from it. Technically,
Why
they
would
could
they?
just like, say again.
Said, why would they?
I guess the question is, why are they protecting this piece of military hardware? Because, like, if they're just looking for their own safety to, like, not be shot at by Xeon, they probably could have found that a few times.
To do what? Live like these people?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that this is the counterpoint. Like, I'm trying to build it with as a devil's advocate here. Could they have just dropped everything and left and stopped being a part of the war?
I don't think that's a good counter, only specifically because we've seen that everybody else sucks.
Because, like, I mean, while they were in space, like, it made a lot of sense because they're on the run, they're in a forced situation, they have no other way out of it except to fight, or to surrender to a hostile force that probably wants to hurt them anyway. But once they get, like, to Earth, like, and they can land, and they could walk away from it, it's like, the only reason they're there is to stick with the military hardware. Do they need it to protect them any longer?
No, but I'm saying everything else sucks. Why would you walk away from the military hardware? Like, we know that the vast majority of people on Earth died to starvation and disease after Operation British.
Yeah.
Literally, you have a flying fortress that has thus far withstood the attacks of the dominant military in the region. Why
right, so you
would
can
you walk
exact
away?
a lot of violence there, but like the reason you would stick with it would be to inflict more violence then, right?
No, it's a fortress. I just said that. It can withstand the shit being thrown at it. You don't have to inflict violence.
Thing that draws attention to it. It's not just a fortress, right?
Sure, but you know what else? The Xeon people and the Federation people on the ground are still inflicting violence on you, whether you're a civilian or not. Might as well have a nice fortress. I don't see what you gain by walking away from it. Yeah, you certainly lose a lot.
Yeah, like the thing is, by picking up the weapon and doing all of this, you are losing something here. You are losing the ability to live a life without that violence, without Amuro being traumatized every day. Because at this point now, he's at the point where he will just get up and kill someone because he can, even in a dangerous or uncertain scenario. Like you said, in the bed with a back shot.
The argument
is cool. The argument is not super cool.
The argument's not a clear argument because Arno's not going out of his way looking to kill people, like what you're saying, or what it feels like you're saying.
Go to the base
after the fact. I think that you can't use that because Amuro won PTSD, shell shock, whatever, and then his mother goes off on him. Amuro was not in the right state of mind. That is a.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this 100 times in these shows. That was probably just I don't know. It's not a war crime.
He did jump a Federation soldier earlier, too, at, like, the lightest provocation as well.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think it's a war crime now thinking about it, because he's literally a military unit against another military unit. It's like if the cavalry rode in, right? It's just, he is a mobile cavalry unit.
We are kind of back at the using civilians as hostages scenario, but, like, we can ignore that for today.
No, I'm talking about what you brought up, Amuro going to the Xeon base and attacking it. It's that's just a thing, because this is in the wartime. They're a military unit, he's a military unit. He's effectively a mobile cavalry all on his own. So it doesn't matter.
This is why the counter argument is, was that a necessary piece of violence, or could he have surrendered the equipment and just live with his mom at this point? Did he have to still be a soldier in the uniform with the gun?
Well, one could argue that eliminating the Xeon presence in the area thus removes the need for the Federation presence in the area, and the Federation presence in the area is a hindrance to those people as well.
You know, it's... I do have questions about, like, the scenario there, given that we had a bunch of the Federation people in town, and they clearly have some confirmed kills, given that they have, like, a Xeon helmet with them at the very least, right? And they have plenty of time to sit back and drink. I feel we're never going to expand on the situation with like Amuro's mom's island
Well, no,
again.
no, the civilians said that the Federation military that's here was also been abandoned by the Federation military. So these guys are just like dregs that are wandering around in Federation uniforms.
Right. It's not more than a bunch of like 6 people like hanging around with guns protecting the town, quote unquote.
Well, they're doing the mafia thing, right? Be ashamed if something happened, but
Yeah.
because they're the only things that are there to protect to them from the local Zeons. Well, Amuro may have gone off the handle and attacked the Zeon base, but it probably liberates those civilians from these Federation guys that are just mooching off of them and pushing them around.
What is Xeon actually doing when it takes over a place? Like, what happens to people? I don't think like we've gone over that. Like, if this was like Star Wars and it's the Empire, I would say like, oh yeah, the Empire's moving in. They're gonna take over full control. They're gonna suppress the people. They're gonna like take some as slaves to throw in mines and stuff. But like, what's Xeon doing?
I think it's a negotiation piece at the moment. If you remember back in Origin, when Degwin told Giran that they could just end the war now.
Yeah.
That they have accomplished enough that the possibility is that they could negotiate for peace. And Giran says, no, we can end the war on our terms when we're ready. So the possibility exists that they're just trying to occupy as much as possible to the point that they could force a surrender on their terms.
So there's like occupation, but like it doesn't sound like much is happening. It's just trading one oppressor for another in this case, I would guess.
That has nothing to do with it.
I mean, like, I'm just talking like in terms of like the individuals, like the people of that town. Do their lives change if the 6 Federation soldiers become 6 Xeon soldiers?
The thing here is that you're basically looking at this from the perspective of what amounts to be an NPC. The civilian point of view in this does not matter. Nobody gives a shit what these people think about their situation. It's the Xeon negotiating position of how many people or how many places with people in it do we need to take before we have an unconditional surrender by the Federation. You're saying we're trading one for another. No, they're not trading anything. One thing is being imposed on them, and then another thing is being imposed upon them. They have no say. Their perspective is meaningless.
In maybe the grander political scheme, but I mean, like, the show cares about them. The show cares about the violence inflicted upon them and their perspective about violence and whether or not it's like it's really necessary. Again, would anything change for the people of that town if Xeon was technically in control instead of the Federation?
I don't know that the show cares. I think the show is giving us perspective. The same way that we had the old people on White Base who were abducted from Earth and forced to go to space. Those people just wanted to get back to Earth. That was the perspective we were given from them. And then we go back to Earth, and we see these people who are then not only being pushed around by their local Federation people, who are the only manner of barrier against the Xeon people. We don't even get to see the Xeon people being anywhere negative to these people. So the only impression that we really get is the Federation.
Right. Instead, like, the antagonist becomes war at that point.
And then we have the example of Big John, who clearly does care about people. I don't know, because the only example we have of Xeon on Earth is the hoity-toities back at Garma's party, and then Big John. Otherwise, everyone else has been fucking military, and there's been no interaction.
Just off of that, we could say that the people at the top of the hierarchy have like a reason to want to express these views that make them superior and like do these things to people to drop colonies, but like individuals who are lower down, who aren't high on that hierarchy, don't have that kind of incentive and can still just be normal people who still care and empathize with people who are hurt.
Well, here's the weird sampling we have going on, right? If we were to take every Xeon interaction on Earth between a Xeon military officer and a civilian, then 100% of Zeon people on Earth care about civilians and treat them nicely.
Yeah. We
Versus
need to see him doing more bad stuff, but I guess killing half the
versus
planet still counts.
the percentage of Federation people on Earth that just push all the civilians around. And this is their home territory, by the way, which is not a great average if you think about it. So
yeah. So I guess it comes down to the situation's complicated and it's difficult to resolve. Just like in reality.
Technically, before a commenter jumps into,
Sure.
Char is a Zeon officer, and he did shoot at civilians. So technically, we're on a 66% of Zeon officers on Earth treat civilians well.
well, Char is a special case. Char just hates everyone, like we were saying at the beginning.
He's wearing a Zeon uniform, so it counts.
He's just having fun in his own psychopathic little way, you know? All right. So I think Theta, that's where we're going to end, unless you got like one more thing to go ahead and top off here. Go. So, given that last episode, we had like the most dramatic moment we possibly could for Amuro, just like solidly becoming a soldier and violent. Are we just gonna go like straight to just like the complete polar opposite this episode?
I have no idea. no, because Matilda's back. Remember, Amuro's infatuated with Matilda.
Right.
I'm just now thinking how everyone's gonna hate last episode's reaction because everyone loved episode 13 apparently. And I didn't think that the drama between Amuro and his mother held up. There was more drama between Haman and Ramba in the bar in Origin than this. I know I'm holding it to a high standard, Origin, but...
Right.
I think there was more drama between... not Joaquin. What was his name? Bring the board up while we're in the opening.
Though, between Amuro and his mom, though, it's like that was an enjoyable back and forth, at the very least, to watch in motion.
I got it since I moved him off. There was more drama between Lieutenant Reed and Bright than there was between Amuro and his mom. Lieutenant Reed was on Bright's ass all the time. That's insubordination. That's court-martial. You don't love me anymore.
I can imagine the lieutenant just popping up and saying that. Or it really changes the context of the whole story when you think about it.
I'm just saying, there was a lot of drama there, and we really didn't get that much, because Amuro just jumped to weird conclusions from what his mom said. And I get it. Amuro hasn't seen his mother in forever. I'm even surprised he knew where he lived, given how long he's been on Side 7. You know what? We're gonna get it anyway. Might as well invite it. Commenters, just go ahead and let us know down below what your emotional read was. Oh, you realized you couldn't talk? You're back again?
Realized.
Cool. Just in time for this young magician.
You know what? This is more pop culture than I've seen in most anime sometimes.
Skill.
Hey.
See? Maybe there's two Gils. The one I had before.
Yeah.
Oh, the one I had before was clearly a pilot. This dude's polishing Zaku's.
He's been demoted a bit, I guess.
Oh, he's part of a squad.
敵をやっつける分には構わねえと隊長も言ってくれたんだ。うまくいきゃ本国に帰れるぞ。
Boss says we can take out these super expensive
清潔なジオンの本国へよ。
giant war machines on our own, so long as you know.
ザクは俺のやつが1機しかないんだぜ。お前らだって。ソル、説明して。
I do like them complaining that Earth has bugs. Let's just get out of here.
一機なんですよ。それもにわか作りのね。
はあ。
Camouflage plan is working perfect. No complaints.
Worked last episode, works this one.
God, I wish they'd made white base a non-white color.
私への質問って何です？
僕らは正規軍ではありません。なのにどうしてあなた方の補給を受け、こうして修理まで。
連邦軍はホワイトベースを捨てたりはしませんし、ここにもあなたの上官を送るつもりはあります。けれど、ヨーロッパでの
Not gonna be in charge forever, Bright.
それに現実
Ah, Operation D-Day, huh?
余分な兵を回せるほど連邦軍は楽ではないのです。
Yeah, to answer your question from before, Griff, here's another reason why not to walk away.
それに今は
Resupply does happen.
第一の任務になっています。
データ集め。
ええ、プロよりアマチュアの方が面白い作戦を考えるものです。それをコンピューターの記憶バンクから拾い出す。
Let's just see what wild things Amuro does next. Okay.
モルモットはおいや、ブライト少尉。
命令として受けてはおりません。少尉、僕が。
ええ、デビル将軍がそうおっしゃってますよ。そのうち通知があるでしょう。
いちいち勝手ですね。
デビル将軍がいらっしゃらなければあなた
So long as they keep promoting me, I guess.
死刑。
ええ、
アムロ、なんだ。
Coming in a real awkward moment, Amuro.
お前は寝てなくちゃならん時間だろう。はい。
君。ブライトさんの言う通りよ。寝るのもパイロットの仕事のうちですよ。
はい。
I can't think of a more stressful way to think about sleep than it's my job.
なんてやつだ。ホワイトベースとガンダムを動かしたこと、そんなに重罪なんですか。
この間まではね。ブライトノア少尉。
She's like the honeypot of the Federation.
They have an axe hanging over their head is now the answer.
No, you don't remember? She's the one that Amuro was like, oh, the scent of a woman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
なんだ。
なんでもないわ。
Amuro just being teenager.
なんだよ。
Amuro, read the room. She just wanted to talk with you. I like how Amuro's Haru hangs out more with Frau now.
See?
Goddamn Kai in the background just leaning.
No, it's Amuro's obsession with Matilda. And Fra, I've literally been there your whole life, Frau. There's nothing.
Frau has, like, cleaned his entire house, brought him meals,
まだです。
put him to bed.
パトロール網を飛び越える。いいか。ガンダムをスタンバっておけ。はい。
Because we didn't repair all the scratches.
It's cosmetic, I'm sure.
脱出方向です。ホワイトベースです。共に進路クリアです。
我々を脱出させてくれるかしら。
ジオン次第さ。
左前方。何か光
Nobody's in charge of keeping track of them anymore, are they? Garma's not there, Char's left.
国標にないか。
I mean, technically, nobody was in charge of keeping track of them.
発光信号に応答なし。
はい。
効果。戦闘スピードで脱出します。
No, you're right. You're right. Char was in charge. Well, Char wasn't in charge of keeping track of them. Operation V on the Xeon side was Char's responsibility. Then he got demoted, so there wasn't anybody else. I guess Dren, maybe?
Right. Yeah, right now they're just, like, bumping into random people. I guess maybe Ramble is, like, now in charge of it, but he hasn't showed up for a minute.
I I don't know that he's in charge of it. He just showed up.
Yeah, it's an awkward moment to figure out like who is the Zeon antagonist at the moment.
Literally, it's just any randos that they wander across at the moment.
I mean, we do have our man right over there, Guile, right?
You mean Curran? See, it's Curran. And Gial, is that who you meant?
Yeah, Guile.
Well, I don't know. Did he get sold on it?
Motorcycle hover infantry.
Feels like those guns are just mounted in the most awkward of ways.
You get the gist of the operator can like swivel it around anywhere they want.
I'm very confident you're not going to get... Yeah.
Yeah, just betray their expectations. It works.
Yeah, we literally already offloaded it.
Yeah.
Amuro ain't gonna stand for...
ready to go
yeah.
to Matilda. Yeah.
I got a dog in this game.
Gosh, first Amuro is out for blood. Now he's just thinking with his pants.
Well, just goes to show what he must think of everyone else. I won't fight to protect my friends on the white base. Random woman who walked past me once, though. Don't worry, we'll fly all the way home like this.
Don't pursue what too far, the attack or the relationship? Good reuse of landing footage.
Sure. Let's just say yes and walk away.
Oh, that's just the mosquitoes, man. You haven't been on Earth long, have you?
Everyone,
Where is it?
look
I gotta
what's
kill it.
going down.
That rocket was larger than the bike.
Well, yeah. The Gundam's 18 meters tall, remember? Put it all in perspective.
I know, just the kinetic shot of it alone. Oh, right, you get to see the faces of the people you're killing now, huh?
Well, it's been 12 episodes since he had a problem with that.
True, true.
Since then, he's literally shot somebody in the face. So...
I mean, I guess he's just more shocked that these guys think they're gonna do something.
Or I should say face to face. This is like Star Wars Endor scene, but with Gundam.
Yeah, it's like... One of them did get shot in the face by that, but they're otherwise being pretty effective.
Also, what are you planning to do with these small arms fire?
Start the Zeon attack theme. That's what. Oh, it's a brick. Those are definitely explosives.
Oh, man. If only you would watch Nadia, Griff. This would explain all those pink Legos from Nadia.
Oh, this is so good. Just this random, well put together squad is just dunking on Amuro here. He gets to do this too. He's just so cool.
Don't flail or anything, Amuro. Jeez.
Amuro just freezing up.
Yeah, let the Gundam return to White Base and just detonate it in the hangar, right? Oh, you didn't put a timer on it or anything?
I guess they're just impact explosives. Alright, I guess small arms fire is working well.
No, it's the explosive.
Oh, okay.
You literally
You're
saw
right,
it on
you're
the
right.
front. They said, let's shoot at the explosives. And there was one on the shield. Now, quick, turn around and shoot Amuro. Literally the dumbest thing he's done so far.
ガンダムに爆弾が仕掛けられました。ここは場所が悪いので。
Just another good example of how one sniper could have won this war for either side. So you can see that he's out of his cockpit, and you're not doing anything.
At least they do have a timer, but 30 minutes though.
こんなことになるんだったらリモコンがありゃな。今頃はドカンよ。
ほんと、俺たちパトロール隊にはろくなものねえんだものな。
Alright, at least everything makes perfect sense here. I like those lines. This is so good. They just get to camp out and have fun now.
よくわかりません。この爆弾の次元装置が働いていることは間違いないんです。 アムロ、そのレントゲン写真を見て何か分かったか？
分かったことって、この細い線が新管代わりだろうって、そのくらいで。つまりプラスチック爆弾を磁石からむしり取ろうとしたら爆発するってことでしょ、ムルさん。
うん、そうだな。
とにかく剥がすしかないんです。
よし、俺がやろう。
これは僕の責任です。
Okay, Kirk.
お二人は下がってください。
Why you?
時間は全くないかもしれません。
Because he wants to be the hero.
We know there's at least like 5 or 6 other soldiers that are still on the ship.
常識的に考えたってもう爆発するっていうのは分かるはずだ。それを
As they do.
あと12分しかないんだぞ。
Oh, that took him a while.
I'm more shocked why this guy cares so much, right? Oh yeah, everybody get right next to the windows in case I fuck this up.
Oh yeah. I thought I was about to hurl it.
発明を外したらしいですね。
やるね。連邦軍のパイロットもよ。
I really do love their casual nature on this. Just watch it.
クレーンが上がってる感じですけどね。
8分前だがな。間に合うのかな?
If he works the same time frame, no. There'll be one left with no time.
Yeah, 4 minutes per bomb.
今爆発するかもわからんの。
Alright, they have no idea what the timer actually is.
Which means if it is 4 minutes per, there'll be one left and he'll have no idea that he's walking into a bomb that's about to explode.
あなたまで犠牲にはできないわ。それは逆です。アムロはパイロットです。私が代わりにやってきます。フラウボー、あなたにアムロより上手にできて。
All your many years of working at bomb disposal, Frau.
Yeah.
Making a good lasagna and dismantling C4, not the same thing.
It's really funny though how this has been the most effective plan I've seen so far.
爆発したらガ ガンダムはもちろん僕だって
You got 3 out of 5, right?
Yeah,
あと1個か
two
2個だろ
left. You're
その
right.
はずです。
粘るじゃないか。
どんな奴がやってんでしょ
いくらなんでも次元装置には気がついてんだろう。それでやってるとなりゃよほど勇敢なやつだろうさ。
Have they noticed the timers? They haven't mentioned it.
They know the timers exist.
But it seemed like they were suggesting that once you notice the timers, you should know how much time is left.
時間かかりますね。出てきませんよ。
見せろ。背中の方に回ってんだな。
はい。
そろそろ時間だぜ。ん
The problem is he's also keeping all the bombs right next to him, too. So he's got 4 bombs right behind him on the truck, and the one he's looking at.
And he gets to put his face right up against it, too.
That'll be fair. Probably the best place to be next to the bomb is about to go off.
What's their plan here? Oh, the entire crew.
Took everyone to come up with this plan. To raise the leg by a foot.
This is good, though. This is like good tension. They did this entire bomb plot great. How you gonna get back, man?
You know, the explosives are shaped like bricks. Could just put it on the acceleration pedal. Just... I doubt I'm Xing out Kai. So...
Yeah, no, Kai is... Okay, they brought 2 of them.
Damn.
Barely in time. Oh,
well, that's
perfect.
a lot stronger than I thought it would be. They really...
It's like a small thermonuke or something.
Imagine if they had gone back on the white base and didn't notice.
Oh yeah, everyone would be dead.
These guys got closer than Char. Or Garma.
I know! They deserve to be cocky now. They earned it. But they're just having fun.
This is the idle wonderings that I never have in anything. Like, I never play like an FPS and wonder what that guy I just shot's like. You know?
Oh, wait, the crew is literally driving out there just to see? Oh, that's funny.
It doesn't seem likely.
Are they just weird people? What? Oh, they dress down.
Seriously? This was the big plan?
They're just having fun, man.
Well, you wanted perspectives, Griff. How does this work for you?
This is just the funnest episode. Really, it is.
This is Zeon enjoying the war.
A bunch of, like, very competent soldiers ready to go home, getting respect to Amuro. It's so fun.
巨大な戦争が生み出した男だ。戦争孤児を守るために戦う男の姿にアムロは憎しみを超えた戦いをする。爽やかな感動を込めて。機動戦士ガンダム次回ククルス・ドアンの島。 君は生き延びることができる。
Maybe not though, because I
Well,
think
yeah.
that's the one that gets removed from the lineup for having such bad animation, right?
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, because remember that's the one that there's the movie for. They made a movie later on. That's the one where they sent it off to an outside Korean team to animate on the cheap. And
oh gosh.
they
And they just never get back to it.
No, they cut it. It was so bad
Yeah.
that they removed it from the lineup completely because they didn't want it to be associated with.
But the context of it is Amuro kills some war orphans. That's the most precipitous decline.
Well, again,
possible.
they made a movie, and I thought the plan is either to watch movie 3 compilation after, because people keep selling it. It's like it's basically its own thing. It's so different and good. I'm still weighing that one because otherwise it would be directly to that episode, the movie.
Yeah. In which case, like, if that becomes the movie, I'm kind of excited for the movie because I think, like, oh, this sounds like a nice little bottle episode for sure. Like, that's exactly the thing you make into a movie, right? At the same time, if we're right, no idea what's going to happen next time. It's going to be a surprise, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, our lineup might have just left it in, and we might be watching some shitty Korean animation version. I'm not shitting on Korean anime. I read a lot of manhwa. And a lot of those manhwa are drawn better than the anime we watch sometimes.
Look,
so
a bad job is a bad job. That's all we gotta say right there.
yeah. So I don't know if they
If it's a
included
bad
it.
job though, I'm excited because it'll be funny.
If how we watch this, they decided to include it, and we are gonna see what a lot of people decided was the worst thing that they could possibly have seen. So be it. we can then have it. We will then be able to say we watched both the movie improvement and the shitty Korean version, and be able to judge. Right? We won't have to take other people's opinions for it.
Right. If I were to go ahead and though, and real quick say, I think I would go ahead and nominate this episode right now for the best episode so far. Not like on like drama or anything. Like everyone loved the previous one because like there's a lot of good important stuff happening there in the drama verse. But this is like the most well put together episode, I think. This is like the perfect individual episode. I would show someone and say, this is what the series is like. Here's some really good stuff happening. Because we have like Zeon being like a very credible threat, everyone being like semi-affable, like understandable, with like the Zeon crew at the end like gaining respect for Amuro, saying their piece and showing like there's a possibility outside of like all the fighting. Amuro getting like put into like a weird position, doing well, but like also still just getting a little bit dunked on, and then just showing off like his tenacity at the end. Like all of that like comes together like really nicely into like this nice individual packaged episode. I would show this to other people.
I guess that's the best you can get there. I would show this to other people. You're not ashamed of what you do. So you're saying on the top of the first 14 episodes, episode 14 is your favorite, your number one?
I think so. Just as like individually, this is the best constructed, crafted episode.
All right. And a lot of other people say that episode 13 is their number one for some reason.
And they're right because it's their favorite because it's the best dramatic bit of episode that they've had so far too.
Disagree. I would say
fair, but like they are.
I would probably say that
They're
episode 12
reasons.
is my favorite of the top 14 of the first 14.
So there we go. We're at least building up like a lot of stuff that we really like in this show. That's really good.
11 or 12.
So
the Threat of Zeon is 12, and Icelina 1 is 11, and I really like the Icelina 1.
Yeah. So for right now, I guess this is about where we're gonna wrap up. Join us next time for either the best or the worst. We don't know yet. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin. That's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?